Uh, yeah, man. Shout out to Dirty Projectors. Y'all definitely know that's one of my favorite bands all time. All right, so y'all do me a favor. I want to go all the way in on this new moon in Sagittarius with y'all. Straight turn it up. Make it epic, lit, and legendary. So y'all, share the room for me. Ping the room up. Ping at least 10 people in here. Turn it up for me. I want to go all the way in on this new moon in Sagittarius. I want to take it to the next level. I want to go in. Let me go in 20 minutes. I go in 10. All right, 10. Give me 10 minutes. Turn it up. And then share the room for me. Ping the room for me. Now I'm going to bring some great people up on the stage. And then we'll turn it up and go to that next level. So, yeah, let me get right into this. Several hours from now, I estimate maybe around sometimes 5:30 to 6 p.m. today, we're going to have a new moon in Sagittarius. And the moon and the sun, they're going to be conjunct. They're going to be together. Like the Spanish prefix con is with, the sun and the moon will be with each other at 1 degree Sagittarius. And this is a beautiful celestial alignment. And this is going to promote some emotional freedom, emotional spontaneity, a lot of laughs, a lot of wholesome laughs, a lot of wholesome laughs, because that's what Sagittarius is about. It's about Jupiterian values, Jupiterian philosophies, going outside of your neighborhood, international. Think big, don't think local, baby. Don't think local. I need you thinking expansive, big, out of this world, out of this universe. Expand past your horizons, going past any form of conceptual limitations that you may have. And what will govern this beautiful thing that I'm talking about? That would obviously be your philosophy. Yeah. And when you think about it, yeah, that's exactly what Sagittarius governs. It governs the philosophy, stepping outside of, well, that's what philosophy is. When it comes to our philosophy, you don't get stuck in a philosophy, because then that's not a philosophy. That's a way of thinking. Philosophy is something that, when grounded upon values that expand, that can lead to opportunities. And think about it, whenever people going to the airport, who in here don't like going to the airport? When you go into that airport, it's like, oh my gosh, like the freedom, all these different places you can go. It brings a feeling of exuberance, but also sometimes, aside from people may travel for a multitude of reasons, some of them financial. For the most part, traveling comes with opportunities, the opportunity to expand your horizon, to see new things. So the majority of what we're saying are things that are centered around Sagittarius, foreign values, but also not just going places physically, because when we start getting into these higher signs, there's a part where we get very transcendental. So Sagittarius, of course, I'm going to say it's one of the master signs, and it is governed by the jovial master guy, Jupiter, or Jupiter. Just know that the jovial one is very masterful, generous, and abundant. It's kind of like Buddha. And well, in a sense that's Mercury, but in an aspect, this is also Jupiter. Think about that image of the Buddha, very wholesome, laughing all the time, jolly. And this is an aspect of what Sagittarius can tap into. When you tap into freedom, there's a feeling of jovialness that comes when perspective expands. So Sagittarius would only govern birds and planes and things like exotic travel. And this is also why, wow, Lex was really mentioning the airport earlier. It's astrostatic. Because this is also what Sagittarius governs. So I guess we could say Gemini would govern the car dealership, and Sagittarius would be the airport. Both of these modalities help you get around town. No, one of them helps you get around town. The other one helps you get around the world. And this is also why during Sagittarius season, we should certainly be connecting with different people, different places, faces, and cultures. Yo, listen, I'm a bring, I'm not looking at the phone right now, but I know I got some real ones in the room because I could feel it. And I could feel it, right? And that's because I'm rocking with y'all. But I want to talk to niggas from outside of the country, man. When I tell you I ping the room up, invite some diversity, cultural diversity. When you travel, when you go to new places, this opens the opportunity for you to become more culturally diverse. When you move around your town and your local neighborhood, this will bring the opportunity of maybe you speak in different. You might learn a different set of linguistics. Well, you go to other countries, there's a chance you may learn other languages, and this would be a result of you traveling. So y'all see how we bringing it all together. Now, if you look at some of the things that's going on in the news right now, a lot of these things are centered around immigration. One thing that I saw was Canada. Canada wants to bring in 1.5 million immigrants within the next 2 to 3 years. Even the Democrats is getting busy. The Democrats, they all about immigration. Then there's these conversations about labor. Um, I think I forgot what country it was exactly, but there's this country where it's like the refugees are moving to one country in Europe, pretty much, and they're doing labor there. But the thing is that the labor is necessary because that place needs workers. So with this is the dichotomy between Sagittarius and Virgo. And that there's this thin line between um you know what, we gonna we gonna actually stay out of that. So I just wanted to go in on Sagittarius season. I wanted to just bring some amazing things and try to see if I can in a way conceptualize this and make it kind of dope, interesting, and fun, because that's what Sagittarius is about. And remember, we're gonna have a new moon in Sagittarius very soon. And expand your values. If you feel like you want to deal with things emotionally in a fun way, restriction is not the wave. Constricting emotions during this transit, you'd be going against it. I would expect very studious ones to exhibit some form of, I guess, diversity. Let's get diverse in our values. And also, if you see what's going on in the world around us, the focus is on other countries. The focus is on not the localities, the variables outside of the locals. So this is where we expand our horizons, and that's Sagittarius season. Very look. I just wanted to keep it uniform. I just wanted to keep it uniform. So that's the end of my presentation for now. Um, Let me bring up some of y'all great people. Hey yo, I didn't even see y'all amazing people in here, man. Um, so y'all, new moon in Sagittarius, leaving eclipse season, very great. And I say that this is great because this is gonna affect different signs differently. Um, of course, this will certainly benefit the fire signs and people born maybe at the beginning. So if you're like an Aries, maybe you were born the ending of March. If you're a Leo, you born at the end of you born at the end of July. If you were a Sagittarius, right, it would be your birthday around now. And when we dealing with this is also farsightedness. When we looking outside of the common territories, how else would your perspective expand? But then it's crazy because when we look, right, yeah, we're talking about multicultural, correct? When we look at diversity, at times within our own culture there are even more diverse cultures. So there is a aspect of tribalism where we may see themes of these tribal elements. And y'all look at my PTR, right? Y'all listen up. There was a room yesterday on here, and these dudes were clearly inspired. And yeah, it's so beautiful because when I say like, man, I think when y'all come into my rooms, I think that we have the most great builds. I'm building with Ordain, Noble, Alexis, Boppy, right? Emo. Just the builds, they're very epic. And it just so happens when it comes to this Avatar 2, this movie, that movie covers an aspect of tribalism, right? And also when we look at the Black Panther, it covers an aspect of tribalism as well. Now that's just for a lack of a better terms, just to keep it within the Sagittarius aspect. But then when we bring that vibe into the Avatar too, I think that that's gonna be like and then yeah, Jupiter is also gonna go direct, right? So you got Black Panther 2 drop during the Jupiter retrograde, so it kind of was looking at emotional things in the past. And around this time, ayo, shout out to the god Odin. And y'all look around that time with Jupiter, with Black Panther, right? Jupiter was retrograde, but then when they drop Avatar, Jupiter is gonna be direct. So I feel like that movie is really gonna be like just extra Sagittarian, right? And then y'all look in the PTR. That's the aspect of the vibe that we was building on. And then you could go on my Instagram and see I made a post about it yesterday. And then they actually did a room on my post. So yeah, it's a bunch of epic things going on, and y'all could look out for that Avatar 2, Black Panther 2, and I'm saying I think Avatar 2 is actually Black Panther 3. Like I think all of these things are all connected, and y'all gonna see. And then O'Dane got his own vibe where he throwing in the sports in it. So O'Dane, thank you for coming to the stage, bro. I don't know if you wanna go in on that, but it's a lot of amazing things going on. I saw something else too. Maybe I'll look for it, but it is something else going on in the sports world. Um, and of course it was centered around Qatar. And when I saw it, I was like, yo. So I'm like, it whatever the conversation was, it moved from Kyrie and Kanye, right? It moved from the Mars is in Gemini. And that's another thing that's responsible for a lot of this. Mars and Gemini. That's Mars is a little thotty in Gemini. But when Mars is going retrograde, this Mars is also retrining with Neptune, and then it's gonna trine. It's squaring Neptune. Excuse me. Mars is squaring Neptune, and then it's gonna trine It's gonna trine Saturn in Aquarius. So off this, there could be some activity with some religious groups, right? Religious groups, very interesting things going on in potentially large crowds. Then y'all been seeing what been going on the news. Y'all been seeing what been going on in the news when it comes to these dudes having those weird explosions in supermarkets. Y'all know what I'm talking about? The crowds. And then Mars is all, yeah, Mars governs iron and steel and weapons. So Mars going retrograde in Gemini, and then when it's squaring Neptune, there's a I don't I would put the religious aspect, the spiritual aspect, and just the illusions all kind of in one gumbo. So people can actually be spontaneously activated by things that are not there. Jupiter, yeah, that's just Mars and Neptune square, but Jupiter is in Pisces as well. So we don't have a tight conjunction with Jupiter and Neptune, but we had a direct conjunction earlier this year on April 14th. Now, y'all think back to April if you can. Think about how mystical like I don't know, you know what? That could just be, but I don't know, y'all. When during that conjunction, it felt very transcendental. Like I can't explain it. That week I was having a bunch of vivid, powerful dreams. And then Jupiter is went back into Pisces, and now it's kind of close to Neptune again. So I feel this is gonna create, because there's an aspect of Pisces that governs foreign things, right? But it'll deal with the foreign spiritual things. Someone's spiritual values is not their philosophy, right? I think people more so, even arguing about philosophy, there's a thin line between that and spirituality. But that's why Jupiter is rules on Sagittarius and Pisces. One is going out of this world, and one is going out of the universe. And at times they share a interesting ambiguity between the two.